Welcome to today's session, which is about how to model a divided roadway using Civil 3D. This video is in response to a poll we ran on a previous video. In this poll, 67% of the participants requested that we start with section A. So we will be doing as per their request. Thank you very much to the people that participated on the poll, and we are now going to respond to their request. We would still like to request you to respond to the poll if you have not done so as to influence the choice of the next video in this series. My name is Lois Otoi. I'm a civil engineer at Davisa Consulting. This channel is for you, and the topics we cover come directly from questions we get on a daily basis. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. We also welcome your comments on this video. If there are any other topics you would like to cover, please get in touch by leaving a comment. If you would like to have a one-on-one follow-up with us regarding the topics that we cover during the sessions, please email me and I will get back to you. With that said, let's dive in. We begin this session with this road that we have designed, where we have built a corridor for a divided roadway. And in this session, we'll focus on the widening of the road in preparation for the introduction of the two lanes and the median. So we will be focusing on this area. Maybe let me just switch off. Let me just switch off this so that you can see. Yes, we will be focusing on this area, because as you can see, the road starts off as a two-lane road, and then it starts to widen, and you start to get the lane lines coming in, and then the median is starting in green. So we will be in this session be doing this area before the median starts, where the road is widening. On this drawing, I have a pair of alignments, an alignment called main road and an alignment called secondary street. We've also pulled profiles for this alignment, and I've also created finished grade profiles, and these are put in this drawing. For primary street, this one is for primary street, and this one is for secondary street. So that work has been taken care of. So what we then do is to bring these profiles onto the corridors drawing through data shortcuts. So that's why you do not see them on this drawing. So which then means if we want to edit them, we're gonna have to come back to the parent drawing. We've also got an EG surface for the site, which we can now change to just show the boundary only. There's our surface, so we can change that to just show the border. So we'll switch off these contours just so that we can get better clarity of our drawing. Also, you will see that we have already created an assembly that we're gonna use in this drawing. So you'll see that we have already done quite a few of this work. We have documented the processes that we followed to arrive at this point, and these will be available through our tool palettes. You will see at the end of this video how these can be accessed. But maybe just as a preview, let me just show you this one. If we go there, here you can already see how we create. Let me bring that file. How this alignment gets created, how we created our alignment, the process that we followed. So these are the whole documentation that we have done, but we'll go into depth with that With our preliminary work, we can see, if we look into the section editor of this corridor, that the width of the road remains constant. Let me just, okay. The width of the road remains constant, and as you can see here, we are still at the beginning right there, and as we move up, you can see our cursor on the plan is also moving. So if we zoom in, there's our right hand lane, and you can see that these alignments, they are not tying up to the width of the lane. And here's the second lane, second right hand side lane. It's also way too wide, and as you know, right at this point, we do not have that second lane. We only got one lane on either side of the center line. So we will then be using targets to control the width of the road in this area where we do not have the median as yet. Again, just to refresh our memory, this is the area we are dealing with, and as you can see here, we've got a single lane and a single lane, and we've got a shoulder on each side of the road. But as we get to this point, there's the road center line. We don't have a median yet. We've got a lane, then we've got a shoulder. So there's two lanes on each side, but at this point it's only one lane each. So if we go back, and as I say, as we progress down the line along the road, you can see that our section, by the way, this is the assembly that is governing all what we are doing. If I can just bring it up, maybe that's the assembly that we are using. At that point, we've got a right hand lane number 1. Here we've got a right hand lane number 2, and at this point we've got a shoulder on the right, and then we've got a sidewalk. So here are those elements showing there's the center line of the road, right hand lane number 1, there's a right hand lane number 2 on the assembly, but as I say, the widths are totally wrong. This is what we want to be resolving. But what you must see, what I just want you to see, you want to see these lines beginning to separate, and they are doing so, you see there, they are doing so as now this outside lane starts to be created, and our task is going to be to pull this point to come in line with that line there. So if you come to where this indicator is, you can see that there's our center line, there's the right hand lane. We're beginning to create the second lane at that point, which is there. But as I say, as we proceed further, it starts widening. So yeah, this is the task we have now of being able to pull this to line up with that. Even this, you can see that it's not tying to that line exactly. But again, these are the things that we will hopefully be resolving in this video. Okay, also that is our edge of road reserve that I've shown in there. I wanted to just lock that there. So that line there is that line, which is the edge of the road reserve on the right and on the left. Okay, so we will exit this and begin with our targeting. So what we would like to do, as I said, it's a pity that things are a little bit busy here, but forgive me, I cannot switch off this corridor, otherwise some functions we're not going to be able to see them here. So you can see that lane starting to narrow there. So that lane on the outside must target that alignment there. And that lane on the inside must target that alignment. That's what we're going to be doing. So we select our corridor and we come to edit our targets. I have already divided up this corridor into two sections, and this section ends just before the median starts. That's where the median is. So I'm treating this as that section A of our series. Didn't select it. Okay. So now we've got this dialog box. This is where we're gonna do our targeting. So we want to change this target. First of all, I want to filter this to about 240, and I'm also going to I also want to see only the left hand side. I want to start with the left hand side. Okay, so let's switch off the right at the moment. Okay, so here's our offset. I think I'm just gonna go pick them up on the drawing. So I wanna target the left hand side lane. Okay, I think this is the best spot to see these things. That inside lane, the inside lane must target that alignment. And then the outside lane will target that alignment. Okay, now we're going to do the right hand side. The right hand side lane will target this is now right hand side lane number 1 will target that alignment, and then right hand side lane number 2 will target this alignment. Okay, now that we've done that, we can rebuild the corridor and we apply. So our model is now rebuilding. In fact, it's a pity. I just saw it as it pulled in that section. Okay, let's do that. You can now see that the road has become narrower. Let's again go look at it in section editor. Okay, at this point, this is at the beginning, and as we move now, here we can see that we have here's our center line. We've got one lane on the left, one lane on the right. We've got a shoulder on the left, we've got a shoulder on the right, and then we've got our sidewalks as well on the sides of the road. So as we progress further, by the way, this area, section A, stops at about 250 meters. So and then we will then continue from there. So at this point, round about here, this is where the lane departure starts to happen. You see there you start to see the separation. You're beginning to create that second lane on each side of the road, and you can see it widening, which is now that lane there. Which is now this lane is beginning to get created in these spaces. Yes, our road is widening. And where are we now? We're at 178. Our road is widening. We are about 200. 28. So now we have fully developed our 2 lanes. So yeah, I think it's working nicely. Let's go to about. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I've gone a bit too fast. Okay. At this point, we're gonna start from here on. The island is gonna start to be introduced, because you will find now that lane is starting to be a bit wider. So the painted island will start to creep in. Maybe the painted island will be about there, because our lanes are about 3.5, and you can see this lane, this inside lanes are a bit wider, and that's because from about here you'll start to have a painted island, which will then reduce these lanes. But that's just a painting, so it's not a hard obstruction or anything like that, so we didn't have to model that. Okay, I think one other thing I just want to have a look at is the sections that I had drawn in this, because what I had done is I had drawn sections along this road. If we look at this one, for example, these are the same sections that we have. So that is the I think this one is a better. I think this one is a better one. I don't know why the thing on the outside, I know what's happening. This is beyond 250. So in terms of the targeting, it hasn't targeted the surface, but that's not to worry. In the next sections, when we start doing portion B of this, we'll start to do the targeting of the existing ground, which is what you see here in our sections. Also, what we've done is we have marked the edge of the road reserve with this right-of-way lines, which you will see throughout all the sections that we have generated. So at the moment, this daylighting is only happening up to about 250, but that's the section we're focusing on. In the next video, we will then begin to extend that targeting of the existing ground, so that we're just not left like that. But it is work in progress. Again, we have an option of looking at this corridor of ours in Project Explorer. So if we click on it, go to Project Explorer, and here we just want to, these are the alignments we have. We want to look at the corridors. This is the portion, this is the region that we are interested in, and as you can see, It's from station 0 to 252 because the balance of the road is from 252 up till the end. So we just had to just split the road into two sections, and we were focusing on the first section initially. So here's our cross section at the beginning. Again, we can see that we have one lane, a shoulder, sidewalk, and the drains on the side. So if we keep moving to the next station, we begin to see what our cross section is doing. As it is getting ready to transition and bring in the other lane. I think it's around this point that it starts to do that. You can see at this point. Okay, if we move on, it's beginning to open up at that point, same as on the other side. And it keeps widening. There's your two lanes. Like I said, you can see that this section is much wider, but there will be a painted island here because now we're getting close to 250. So this is the area that's got the painted island. 236. That's where the region stops. I think beyond this, oh yeah, it just doesn't go any further. So this is this region that we've done, and we'll do the next one in the next video. We mentioned earlier that we have documented the process followed in arriving at the drawing and detail of the drawing we started with. These are available through this folder structure and accessed through the tool palettes. If we go to our tool palette, we can see the procedure to create a surface that then opens up this file, which shows our users the procedure they would need to follow if they wanted to create a surface. And this is useful even for to guide new people and ensure consistency in our processes. This one is for how we would do alignments. Again, it becomes accessible through the tool palettes. We have also included some useful Lisp routines. Like this one is for generating a legend for, let's say now if I pick up all these items and I will generate a legend. So it picks up all the layers that the elements that are in the drawing are in, and it generates a legend for us. If I need to access my blocks, I can do it from the tool palettes without having to go through and dig through the server. So in here, for example, I've got my pipe fittings. So if I needed I've got butterfly valves, I've got gate valves, I've got non-return valve. Let's say now I needed this butterfly valve. I can come in there, and so I just need a base point. Specify my base point is there. Specify a base point, and my block would come in. If I needed to bring this gate valve, I would be able to bring it right there. So yes, these tool palettes can be very useful in terms of improving your productivity. What we do is to help companies develop CAD standards, develop their standard operating procedures, and create a system of scripts to share the standards with their users. We also then would configure AutoCAD and Civil 3D to work seamlessly and thus reduce production time. We hope this video has been useful to you and it has shown you how you can model a road widening. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to the video and submit your comments.